Hey everybody, welcome back to 1776 or Bust. So I'm just going to make a quick video on an observation that I had today that I have to say I always go back to. On the table in front of you are my favorite three striker-fired handguns that I own. Top left, you have your Glock 19 Gen 4 in the Battlefield Green. Top right, you have your SIG P320 Compact with the FDE slide and the OD Green grip module. And then on the bottom, of course, the PPQ M2 in the full FDE. So one of the things that I was thinking about today as I was carrying my handgun with me, past couple of weeks I've been going to the Glock. Love the Glock, the simplicity of it, love the, just the way it carries. It's very lightweight, very usable, great firearm. No issues with it whatsoever. 320, love it. A little bit high on the bore axis, a little bit top heavy, but again, that does make it extremely accurate. And great trigger, great ergos, great gun. But this week, I'm actually carrying my PPQ. And I have to say, I'm really happy once again carrying it. And no matter what gun I own, this one right here is definitely going to be my favorite. Now, the reason being that I like this gun is it does nothing wrong. Everything about this gun, to me, just me personally, doesn't have to be anybody out there watching this video, but to me, the PPQ is the finest handgun on the market. Now, of course, when I say finest, I'm not talking about fit and finish necessarily. I'm not talking about name recognition. I'm not even talking about just the perfect ergonomic pistol. What I'm talking about for me is this is just perfection. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is everything about the PPQ for me just is just great. The ergonomics of it are amazing. I mean, the gun, as soon as you touch this gun, as soon as you put it in your hand, the ergos are just absolutely phenomenal. You have the additional ability to change out the back strap, but I've kept it on the small, and it fits perfectly. It's a small grip, totally perfect and comfortable when aiming down, and I've had absolutely nothing to complain about it. Secondary to that, by the way, all guns are safety checked. There's no magazines in any of the guns. But of course, the first being, or the best thing I like about this trigger, or excuse me, the gun, is the trigger. And again, very light pull. You can see that, very light. I mean, just amazing. Now, of course, the reset is something that's awesome. Also, you can see the reset here in regards to the pistol. Very short, very light, crisp trigger. But for me, the reset doesn't matter because again, I'm not going to be shooting this in any matches or anything like that. This is more of my carry weapon, so as a result, I'm just going to be going like that, probably slapping the trigger if need be. Now, may not be the best, I guess, strategy, but at the same time, I've never had to use my gun in a self-defense situation. Hopefully I never have to, but I'm pretty sure that's how I'd be pulling the trigger, right or wrong. Again, you can, say what you want about that. Now, of course, with the Glock is great too. I have no issues with the ergonomics of the Glock. I know some people might sit there and say, well, the ergos aren't that great because the Glock itself is a little blocky. And yeah, it is. You don't like the finger grooves in here, maybe because you have fat fingers or whatever it is. But for me, the Glock 19 fits perfectly. However, after carrying this for a couple of weeks and going back to the PPQ, I have to sit there and say, my gosh, this gun is so much better ergonomically than the Glock, even though the Glock fits my hand perfectly. Now, of course, one of my main carry guns for a while there was the 320. Again, super comfortable. There's absolutely nothing about this gun that really needs adjustment. It is perfect in all regards also. The trigger is very, very light. Okay. The reset is also extremely light with very little take up and very little push or pull on that trigger. So I mean, even the trigger on this is very great, or very good, if not even close to the PPQ. But again, I've said that in previous videos, that to me, this is the second best trigger on the market next to the PPQ. Again, the Glock 19, the trigger on this one, again, it's pretty short. I mean, it's right there. There's your trigger pull, the reset, very crisp. And there's your pull. So, I mean, the Glock 19 has a great trigger on it, but again, for me personally, every time I carry this gun, it reminds me just how awesome the PPQ is. And that's not knocking any other firearm. That's not knocking any other manufacturer. I'm a fan of the Glock. I'm a fan of the P320, but there's just something about this PPQ that as soon as it goes in my hand and as soon as I start carrying it again, it just reminds me that this is the perfect striker-fired gun on the market. Now, of course, I've signed up to get the P10 when that comes out from CZ, And I am definitely interested to see whether or not it's going to live up to the hype. Now, it may not blast the doors off of a Walther, but they're claiming that trigger is very crisp and very clean. So I'm very, very interested in looking at that. So I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from with things on this gun. This is my opinion alone. Still think the PPQ is the finest striker fired pistol on the market. The ergonomics are great, trigger's great, fit and finish is wonderful, easy to carry, not very heavy. To me, there's really nothing to complain about this gun. But on the other hand, there's really nothing to complain about any of the guns on the table. So I hope you guys have a great night. Let me know what you think, which one you think is superior, which one you think is better, and why. Whether or not you own one, whether or not you want to own one, and just let me know what you think. So I hope you guys have a great weekend as always. I hope you're being safe, and freedom is never free.